Magic Wonderland, 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 Wonderland. The classic is a work that survives in
live on YouTube. That's what they say. That's what they tell me. Will a man rob God? Will a man rob God? We got to see, we got to figure this thing out, family. God, family. When a man rob God. Come on now. Let's see what it do. I'm talking about, let's see if he'll do it. Man, rob God. Man, look out YouTube. We live, baby. It's your good brother. We about to figure some things out. Look out, Bishop. Our Bishop on the line. Peace, Bishop. I call you Bishop Young Khan the Don. The Bishop. My good brother. We're about to delve into the conversation about will a man rob God? We're going to put this one down. It's your good brother. We're trying to figure some things out, family. YouTube. We live. We live on YouTube. Will a man? You understand me? Bishop. Gotta put some respect on that man now. Bishop. Will a man? We're gonna delve into it. We're gonna just tip into it a little bit. Will a man rob God? Who is God, man? YouTube. Who is God? You see? We have to deal with the truth of the matter. You see? We gotta unravel this thing. Your good brother is gonna do it today. We live on YouTube and Instagram. On the gram. Document this thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let that beat ride for a little second. Let that beat ride. Oh, 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 we got to move on. We got to fight on. Hey, hey. You know what I'm talking about? We got to move on. Got to fight on. Hey, hey. You know what I'm saying? Something like a singing, traveling evangelist, they say that young man is. Move on, fight on, YouTube. See what I'm saying? We're about to dive into it. Will a man rob God? Is the question at hand. Can you hear me? Yeah, pull that on up for me. Let's see what's going on. Peace, family. Peace, family. This is your good brother, Sekond Sun. That's second with a K. S-U-N. Because I am Carolyn's second son. And we live on YouTube and the gram from Bay Island. You understand? And as you can see YouTube live, you see the question that we have posed. And on the gram, of course, you can't see the question that we posed. But the question is, will a man rob God? And we just want to delve into this subject matter. All right. Yep. Y'all say we in the dough. We just want to delve into this subject matter here real quick. You see, as it relates to law and order, because it's imperative, family, that we know who God really is in its metaphysical, you see, sense, meaning meta is connected to my spirit, man, and physical is obvious. That's what's connected to my physical body. We want to delve right on into this lesson because this has been boiling in my spirit ever since just a couple of days or nights ago. Well, a couple of days ago, because I catch my good brother, Bishop is what I call him. Bishop Young Khan the Don. I caught his Instagram Live the other rising, because I'm watching him when I get up, when the sun rises. I'm not pretty much catching his live show at night because he after dark, etc. So what I'm saying is I was inspired because I heard my good brother go into the metaphysics of what spirituality is and all that, and what it means and what it entails. And he went into the conversation about melanin. And that is what really pricked my heart to this lesson. You see? And it's not by coincidence that my good brother tipped in on me today, you see, over here on my ground. Because we got to know again, family, who God is and where God resides. That's important. Because as it relates to metaphysics, again, meta is that what is connected to my spirit man, and physics is connected to, of course, my anatomy, my physical anatomy. You see, A&P, anatomy and physiology. And it's important to know that there are laws that govern, you see, that part of us as human beings, those of us with a navel. That's very important to know that there are laws that govern it, and these laws are governed by the universal God. You see? Not, again, the denominational one, but the universal God. What are you saying, universal God, Brother Sekond Sun? What you mean? We're talking about the one that's connected to, you see? We're talking about the one that's connected to, universal law, divine law, natural law, cosmic law. You see? That one. Not the one that's, you see, been orchestrated in a illusion of a belief system. You see? Not that one, but the universal one. That's important to know, family. You see? Now let's get into, will a man rob God? You see? This is the lesson. And I'm going to read real quick out of this book, God Man, the Word Made Flesh. One of my favorite European authors, George W. Carey, Inez Eudora Perry. She ended up reproducing this work and then added on to it. Okay? And we're going to come out of page 21. You see? And out of page 21, the title of this chapter is Man, M-A-N. Come on now, walk with me, family. There is an automatic procedure with it. Again, we on page 21. Just for anybody that might want to go, you see what I'm saying? Revert to it. You might have put it up online. I don't know. But again, God Man, the Word Made Flesh. Page 21. The title of this chapter or section is Man, M-A-N. There is an automatic procedure within the human body which, if not interfered with, will do away with, watch this, family, sickness, trouble, sorrow, and death, as stated in the Bible. See where we're going with this? Because I'm already on the record, family, for telling you that I am not one of the ones to say trash the Holy Bible. You see? I'm one of the ones that got spiritual sense enough to know that in order to wake up a sleeping giant, you see, that has been programmed to believe that they're 3/5 of a person, you see, as it relates to the wilderness of North America, we know that you got to go to the Holy Bible. That's the majority of the introduction to what we call religion. You see? So again, we got to know that within man is an automatic procedure, you see, that'll rid It has the ability to rid the body, you see, of sickness, trouble, sorrow, and death, as stated in the Bible. Truly mankind or the natural man. See, watch the wording now, because the word is God. Truly mankind or the natural man seeks many ways and means to prevent the upright, perfect, automatic way from accomplishing that whereunto it was sent. The natural man forever seeks, watch this family, pleasurable sensation, which is at enmity with God. Enmity meaning the enemy of God, meaning dislike. E-N-M-I-T-Y. Physical sensation, the author is defining as pleasures of sin for a season or limited duration, referred to by Paul, are under the law. Watch the word. Or below the solar plexus, hence, he that is led by the Spirit is not under the law. And when the author's saying, you see this part right here, physical sensation being defined as pleasures of sin for a season or limited duration referred to by Paul, we have to know that Paul is metaphysically defined as that small, still voice. See how that works? That's Paul. We got to know that metaphysically, Paul defines that small, still voice that's connected to what, family? Your intuition, your discernment. And where are these locations, where are they located at? On the human body. Right here. Your brain. You see? That's where God resides, because God is the pineal gland. That's God. See? That's what we got to know. That's what we got to know, family. And again, as it relates to the Bible is there, and that's all I'm going to read out of that. And we're going to go on in, you see? Well, I'm going to read this last part right here too after I say this. You have to know that, again, the Bible is a living instruction. You see, family? A living instruction on how, you remember it said that there's an automatic procedure within the human body, which if not interfered with, will do away with sickness, trouble, sorrow, and death, as stated in the Bible. So if my human body has that ability, where does the power come from? Right here. I'm going to answer it for you. That's what your good brother is here for. The power comes from here, not from your egoic title, not from your denominational affiliation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a separate side of paradise for me if I claim Church of God in Christ, or I'm Southern Baptist, or I'm African Methodist Episcopal. See, that's what we mean by egoic titles here, as it relates to this connection with God. See, walk with me. Will a man rob God? You see, we got to know who God really is so we can put it in its proper perspective, family, because we got to know that ye are gods. Ye, you. Now, let's dig into it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with who? With God. As a man thinketh, or as a man thinketh in his heart. Let's go with it. So is he. Be ye transformed by the renewing of the mind. You see how all of this power go back, it's pointing right back to here. You see? All of the power is pointing right back to here, where God resides. See? Now, when you know where God resides, will you rob God? Will a man rob God? You see how that works? And we have to know that. Again, the Holy Bible is living instruction. the Quran or the Quran or the Koran is living instruction. For what, Bishop? The body, the human body. Come on now. Living instruction. Koran. If we want to use it and define it, K is knowledge. O is order. R is rhythm. A is astronomy and astrology. N is nature. Now, did we say anything about any type of what? Denominational organ? None of that. Huh? That's what we got to know, family. We got to know how to define these holy scripts so we can extract life out of them. Because that's what they was designed to do. Give you life, not death, not sorrow, not stress, not diabetes, not obesity, not hypertension, not let's go on and on. Cancer of the brain, the breast, the lung, the kidney. You see how this working, family? The human body was created, for a divine, purpose. Divine. Not devilish. And when we say devilish, we got to know that the devil is a mindset, not no spooky red pitchfork having little Tasmanian devil looking character up under the earth's surface somewhere. We got to know that. And you got devils in all nationality of people. Walk with me. Will a man rob God? Now, if the devil is of a lower vibration, God is of what? A higher. The Most High God, remember? The pineal gland. That's the Most High God. The Most High God is the pineal gland. Which is here to communicate with what? The Most High God, the S-U-N. Walk with me. We just told you, family, what the Bible and the Quran is talking about. It's referring to the powers that reside from within the human body. You see how that works? Walk with me, family. Now again, when you putting God in his and her proper perspective, then you can, then you can, navigate within this physical journey down here with a different what? Intent. That's the whole key here. Because if the word is God, that means the word came from somewhere. A thought. A thought is produced by what? See how we stand right here? The brain. You can't think nothing up without the brain. Now, we can go into talking about the second brain, which is the stomach. And then we already know that the sacral region, you see, sacral region has creative abilities and we're going to say thinking abilities as well. See, now we're gonna walk through this slow, but we're not finna we ain't gonna walk through all that what we just said. But do your due diligence, family, on how many brains, you see? Because the stomach, we got to know, can be considered the second brain. What are you talking about, brother Sekond Sun? The second brain. The second brain, because as it relates to anatomy and physiology, the body is formed only one way. What are you saying? The head is the first part of the human body that starts to form in the baby's mother's womb. The head. That can't be refuted. None of us was developing in our mother's womb feet first. You see what we're saying? Your feet wasn't the first thing that grew. It was the head. And the head or the skull houses what? The brain. Now, if, walk with me now, if the brain, you see, is where thought come from, can't we see how important it is to take care of this area, the brain? Huh? We talking about metaphysics now. We talking about biochemistry now. You see? We're not talking about emotions here. We ain't talking, this is not emotions. This is truth, you see, over emotions. And the reason why we're dealing with truth, family, is because that's what set us free. See? We can't be a slave to ourselves anymore when we are made free. You see? And freedom, we got to know, is in who is God? Come on. Who is God? We got to deal with that. Look out, Brother Ken Stevens Jr. Emotions aren't real. See, and yeah, that's a heavy lesson, brother. Absolutely. That's a heavy lesson. You see? Because the truth of the matter is we have to know who is God. We got to know that. Because see, when we know who God is, that rids us of this illusion right here. What my good brother Ken is talking about. How emotions, they're not even real. Now, of course, I can emotionally, like I'm doing with my hands, and I can deliver a message, you see, on a higher vibration of emotion. So we, for clarification, not to say that emotions is not needed, because I can deliver, it's certain people that can deliver a message with their emotions and the passion that they put, you see. But when we're saying emotions, and when the good brother is saying emotions are real, we're talking about this that's connected to your 3/5 of a person's self. Because that 3/5 of a person's self believes a lot of stuff that is not true. You see? And one is that God is outside of you. No, that's partial. That's partial thinking. See, you 3/5. You're not thinking whole. See, we 5/5. Ye are God. See, that's 5/5. That's not partial. Huh? And your 3/5 of a mindset, you thinking, you see, that my title, you know where I work, you know who I'm connected, you know what church I belong to, you know how much tithe and offering I give to the, you see that's partial. That's your 3/5 self. See, you thinking, you see what I'm saying, you can pay your way into a illusion, watch this, of a place. Huh? See, that's not, hey, listen, we over here, it's 2020, baby. You see? The vision is clearing up. It's clearing up. We got soldiers out here that's telling it on the mountaintop. You know what I mean? We got some soldiers out here that made it to that mountaintop that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was talking about. You remember he say, I may not get there with you. See? The gods done got there. We done got to the mountaintop that he was talking about. And it ain't nothing that the enemy can do about it now. Because we too widespread. You see? The information done got out. It ain't like it was with the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and you see what I'm saying, Drew Ali days and Marcus Garvey days, where we had to do a lot of writing. See? We can email now. We can boot up on the ground, book, YouTube, all that live. And ring, you see, the truth from the mountaintop, you see, for the family to see. And then it's up to the family. After we do our job, huh? Come on now, walk with me. Some of us done been there. And the key here is, ye are gods. Now again, we stand here. The whole subject matter about God is right here because this is where God resides. We got to know that. You see, family? The pineal is the Most High God, connected to the S-U-N. It's information that got to go on through the pineal and the S-U-N. But if you have been programmed and trained to believe that the sun, the S-U-N, is your enemy. You see? Let's close them blinds. It's too light. It's too light in here. Don't want to go outside. Don't want to get in. It's too hot. No. You see? Now, don't get us wrong. Now, we know that there is a time of day or whatnot where you should not be in that sun because it has an acidic effect. But for the most part, getting natural sunlight is a part of a God body's diet. Why are we saying this? Because the book just told us that this human body was created, you see? And it ain't really just about the book, it's the information, because it's the truth. Nothing but the truth, so help me God. That the human body was created in perfection. See, we got to deal with that. That's where we get this whole thing about melanin. Look out, Bishop. Melanin going for $350 an ounce. Huh? We got to get into that conversation because will a man rob God? When we know that the pineal is where the melanin is produced. Huh? Not downtown at the courthouse where you get your marriage license and this license and that license. That ain't where the melanin is produced. Melanin is not produced at the election poll. Huh? Melanin is not produced at your independent school district with their culturally biased ass curriculum. Huh? Culturally biased ass curriculum in these independent school districts. That's why I took those of us that's able to do it can do it. That's why I took my youngest two children out of it and homeschooled them. You see? Took my son, who is 14 right now, out of public school in the second grade. That was the last public school experience he had, was in the second grade. I taught him how to add, multiply, divide, subtract, all that. And ain't no goodness of my own now. Don't get it twisted. All praise be to Allah, Ra, the Almighty, the Most High, Jah, Yah, all of them. They mine. Whatever name you could come up with for that we define this divine intelligence. That's who I give thanks to. That gave me enough sense and the opportunity to be able to snatch my one and only son up out of that culturally biased curriculum. And I had him, the week of him turning 13, which was last year, I had him reading to me. I made an audio book out of my son. The week that he turned 13, I had him reading How to Eat to Live by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, book 2. The week that he turned 13. So when I say culturally biased curriculum, that's what I mean. Because they're not going to let my son read that. And they're not going to dissect that book in the independent school district for him. See, that's what I'm here for. My baby girl, who will be 20 next month, the 8th grade, that's when I took her out. She didn't even experience the public independent school district as it relates to that goddamn culturally biased ass curriculum in the high school and all them cliques that a lot of these babies suffer mentally from, because that's where a lot of these cliques start. The fat girl, the ugly girl, the popular girl, you see what I'm saying? The jock, you know what I mean? The drug dealer. Oh, he got, his dad and them got this, he driving this, all them old cliques. See, we got to deal with the mental part of this journey down here as well. Because a lot of the humanoids, specifically the melanoids, or what we call the so-called black people, suffered tremendously mentally as it relates to psychological warfare during this 400-year span, 400 plus now, of chattel slavery and believing that God is outside of them in a lot of these culturally biased institutions. Because I was a Sunday school boy. My mama had me in Sunday school, you see? So again, like I say all the time, I couldn't find me in the Sunday school lesson. I heard John Henry Clark say that. So me and him share that same sentiment. I couldn't find myself in the Sunday school curriculum as it relates to imagery. You see how this works, family? It's all going back to where? Here. Because we got mental abuse going on for centuries. And it's being passed through the womb and not getting corrected. You see? That's where your good brother Sekond Sun, that's where my passion lies. With the woman and child. It's just what it is. What it always gonna be for me. You see? And if you tiptoe around where I reside, you can see it. Like I say all the time, I live what I'm talking about right at my house. You're not gonna see something online and then come to my house and you see something different. That's all we're saying. I'm a advocate of talking about it and being about it. That's all we're saying. Now, will a man rob God? You see how that works? When we find out that this melanin is produced in the brain, the pineal is what produces this melanin, which has what they telling me, a golden, you see, color to it. And then the pituitary gland, which is mother, you see, because the pineal, that's father. The pituitary, that's mother. Huh? That we call the third eye, or the thalamus gland, you see, is the representation of Jesus, you see, or Muhammad, or Heru, etc. What are we saying? What are you saying, Brother Sekond Sun? We're saying that as it relates to supreme mathematics, ye are gods. That's what we're saying. Mathematically put together. That pituitary produces that, it secretes a milky-like fluid. You see how that works? Now, if the pineal is secreting something of a golden look and the pituitary is secreting something of a milky whitish look, hence the land of milk and honey. Right here. You see how that works? Hence the land of milk and honey. Right here. But that procedure, remember, can be disrupted. That procedure can be disrupted to where this pineal is not producing the melanin. It's in a what you call calcified state. Huh? That means someone is living in their lower self, being devilish. Now let's read this, what I said we were going to read at the end of chapter MAN. This is what he calling this chapter, man. Page 21. This is going to be on page 22. When man focuses his divine thinking lens, that's your third eye, upon himself. Come on, let's start over. When a man focuses his divine thinking lens upon himself, he will realize that he is an epitome of unlimited cosmic energy. Then the heavens will roll together as a scroll and reveal the real man as the Lamb of God that taketh away the sins of the world. Because we know the world is your body. That's the world. Your world, you see what I'm saying? As it relates to your spiritual journey here, your world is your body first. You can take the sins of your world away by ridding yourself of ignorance. Ignorance meaning you didn't know. That's what that means. You don't know. But that's when you know better, you do better. You see how important this is, family? Now, again, in a calcified state, that pineal does not produce this melanin. Now, you can go into your own studies or research as it relates to melanin, you see what I'm saying, and get what you need to get out of that lesson. You see? Dr. Laila Africa right here, melanin, what makes black people black. You know what I'm saying? This is a good one for you to tap into. He simply, you know what I'm saying? He simplifies, you know what I'm saying, what that melanin do. Like, you know what I mean? No other. Peace be upon Baba Laila, Dr. Laila Africa. You understand me? And when you do that, you'll find out that this Christ that the Bible is speaking about, this Christ, because we know in our studies we have found out that Christ is not a human being. Christ is a title. Christ is an oil, an anointing oil. Now, when you do your due diligence, you'll find that Christ and melanin, they one in the same family. They one in the same. Now, that's your good brother saying that now. I ain't heard nobody say that, but I put the pieces together, you see? And that's what I come up with, that Christ and melanin, that's the same thing. It's a power. And again, you can disqualify the ability of this power that the melanin bring or the Christ brings with your devilish ways. You devilish anytime you're in a 3/5 of a person mindset thinking that God is outside of you. See, that's a natural divine, that's a lesson, you see, that really needs to be digested. So the family, you see what I'm saying? So you can start to move with intent. That's the whole purpose. Because it's as healthy as this is, as healthy as God is as healthy as the experiences that you get down here on the earth planet be. That's when we get to talking about manifestation, you see, and being able to manifest with your throat chakra, the word, speak it, you see. And of course, not only speak it, make sure your feet move with your words. Because see, that's where the separation of the 3/5 and the 5/5 come in at. Because when you thinking whole, you move whole. But if you thinking partial, you see, as it relates to a program, that's what the business gonna be. I got my big brother over here on my YouTube live, you see? We streaming, okay, I see my time. Okay, we winding this lesson on down then. That's good timing right there. Because we done went on and hit, like really what we need to hit. And it's on the neophyte, you see? It's on you to go ahead and, you know what I mean? Take the lesson, like they say, if it don't apply, let it fly. You know what I mean? But if it does apply, take this lesson, let's get it. You see what I'm saying? Because again, will a man rob God? When that man knows who God really is. And when we got to know this, that man is a species, you see, made up of male and female. So the scriptures is not excluding neither gender. You see? Because we got to know that a thought, an idea, a word, etc., anything created has a feminine and masculine energy to it. That's what we got to know. You see? And when we saying, will a man rob God? The question is posed because when you know that you get that, how you get your bread, you see what I'm saying? And when we say get your bread, we mean how you manifest, you see? How you experience what you're supposed to be experiencing here down on this earth planet. The major role goes back to if you robbing God or not. Because this is God. And if you robbing God, that means you are not being yourself. That's right. That's a form of robbing God. You see? Deadbeat father. That's a form of robbing God. Deadbeat mother. That's a form of robbing God. You see? You know what I mean? You got babies, they don't know you. You see what I'm saying? That's a form. Now we know it's certain different, you know what I mean? It's certain different experiences with different people as it relates to, their story or whatever, but it still does not exclude a human being from natural law. What are you saying, brother Second Son? That you sow, you gotta reap. That's all we're saying. And we gotta know that we sow and reap through our parents, through the womb we came from as well. We're experiencing some of this trauma or victories, etc. is being tied back into the womb. You know what I mean? Your mother and father, the life that they lived, etc. This is a very important lesson for the next generation to know that you have the ability to set your children up, not only in the physical realm, but the spiritual realm too. And what we mean by that is the life that you live on the earth planet, you sowing seeds. And if you are a parent, your children are directly, you see, the beneficiaries of the life that you live, you see, on this earth planet. That's very important to know. Now, will a man rob God? You see? When you know who God, God is right here. Aries, the ram, the precious lamb of God. That's the head. You see? We can go all the way down to the feet. Aries, the ram, is the head. You see? And those that are born up under that zodiac tribe, you know what I'm saying? Headaches. You know what I mean? You might have had head injuries, whatever. We can go all the way down to the knees. If you're a Capricorn, Capricorn governs the knees. You know what I mean? You done had some type of knee trouble. You done had some type of knee surgery. If you're a Aquarius governs the ankles. If you are Aquarius, you see what I'm saying? You didn't have some type of ankle problems. I know for me, I'm not an Aquarius, but my father is. And I always used to roll that old ankle. You know what I mean? Playing basketball. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? If you're a Leo, you see what I'm saying? The heart, Leo governs the heart. You see what I'm saying? So you might be, you know what I mean, having some type of heart condition, etc. We can go all the way through this body and relate it to, see, that's cosmic law, what we're talking about. When we say, you see, Capricorn governs the knees, and Gemini, you see what I'm saying, governs the arms, the shoulders, the hands. You see what I'm saying? When we say Cancer governs the breast and part of the stomach, you see, that's cosmic law. And it's important to know all of these laws so you can approach life in a divine fashion with intent. Because there's certain blood types don't supposed to be eating certain stuff just as well as there's certain, you see what I'm saying? Tribe members born up under these different zodiac tribes that don't supposed to be eating certain stuff. Then on the flip, you gain power. It's certain things that you're supposed to be eating, drinking, etc. You see? Going back to, it's an automatic procedure within the human body that rids it of sorrow, rids it of disease, rids it of death. But these laws have to be abided by. See how that works, family? These universal, divine laws, natural laws, cosmic laws, you see, have to be abided by in order for you to get this holistic experience out of life down here. You see? So as we come to a close, again, if melanin is produced in the pioneer, that's where the melanin is produced, it's obvious that this thing needs to be well taken care of. You see? This hard drive up here, it needs to run some maintenance every now and then. You see? And rid itself of the bugs. You know what I mean? Viruses. You see? Because again, the brain is God. When you go into your studies of A&P, anatomy and physiology, you'll find that the brain has billions with a B. That's what they tell me, of cells. The brain alone, family, and we already know that the body is made up of, you know what I'm saying, it consists of trillions of cells. Why is that important, family? Because these cells are little information centers. They're little computers that send out information and receive information via the bloodstream. Huh? See how that works? And the bloodstream, we already know, that's the foundation of your organs, connected to your cells, because each organ has a certain amount of cells. You got skin cells, you have brain cells, you have lung cells, you have kidney cells, you see, etc. Liver cells, etc. And these cells need to be fed not only natural sunlight, but of course that is equivalent to sunlight. And that's going to come through your diet. Huh? Walk with me. Knowledge of self. Health is wealth. And again, we're going to leave you with that question. Will a man rob God? This has been your good brother, Sekond Sun. That's second with a K, S-U-N. Because I am Carolyn's second son. It's been a Walk With Me production, Walk With Me Live, Bay Island. And I want you to let that question marinate in your mind, in your brain. For the forthcoming days, will a man rob God? And go to Golden Gems, G-L-O, this is for my sisters. G-L-O-D-E-N, Golden, Gems, G-E-M-S. Go to Golden Gems. This is for my sisters. On Instagram, Etsy, and Facebook. Because I know it's that season. My daughter, she handcrafts jewelry. You see? Waist beads, etc. And of course, she small business, so she make the order. But you can go to either one of these Golden Gems landing pages and find out what she's doing, what she's working with in her work. Again, that's on Instagram, Etsy, and Facebook. Golden Gems, G-L-O-D-E-N, Golden Gems, G-E-M-S. Till the next time. Peace. Share too. IGTV.